Do you throw a lot and get pain on the inside of your elbow here? If that's you, you could be dealing with a UCL sprain. The UCL is the ligament that attaches the upper arm bone to the lower arm bone. And when I throw, because I bring that arm back into this position, that tends to put a lot of stress on this medial side of the elbow. If we don't have the muscles developed to stabilize that, then we're going to start to slowly lengthen that UCL over time. That is going to create this nagging, irritating, potentially achy, potentially tingly discomfort in the elbow after I throw or during throwing. If that's you, I got 4 exercises for you that's going to help directly strengthen the muscles around that UCL, help add a little bit of stability, and help decrease the strain and the stress on that part of your elbow. Also, at the end, I'm going to show one exercise that I really like to do as a former baseball player that helped make sure I had as minimal stress as possible on that UCL while throwing. The first exercise is a pronation supination for our forearm that's going to help build dynamic stability. You can start with, I have this mechanism, which is just one of those adjustable dumbbells. And I hold the end here. You can use a hammer, you can use a baseball bat, just something that's loaded on one side that you can do this with. So you're gonna hold one end, your elbow is gonna be nice and tucked. We're gonna start in one position. You could start here if you want. You could start here if you want. But basically, we're gonna go into supination. We're gonna control it all the way into supination as far as we can go. And we're gonna slowly bring it back into pronation. Then we're just gonna go back and forth, nice and slow, nice and controlled. Notice how I'm not whipping through this motion. This one we wanna be really careful to control that movement as best as possible. We're trying to build the endurance. We're trying to build that stability there. If you don't have a dumbbell like this or a hammer or a bat or something, feel free to just grab the end of a dumbbell. That also works. Okay, we're gonna repeat this for about 20 repetitions for 2 to 3 sets. Now we're gonna do turnover curls. This is gonna help strengthen our bicep and our support muscles and coordinate that sort of turnover, pronation, supination muscle as we flex and extend the elbow. This is really important in that sort of throwing mechanic that we make. So we're gonna start with dumbbells. Elbows are gonna be by our side. Palms are gonna be down to start. Then we're gonna curl up and turn our hands over. So as I'm coming up, I'm turning the hands over, pausing for a second, then slowly coming back down. I don't want it to be so heavy that you're doing this with your hips. I want you to be able to control that nice and easy. We're gonna go 8 to 10 reps. Then we're gonna flip over and have our palms up and then curl up and turn over so our palms are down at the top. And then we're gonna come back down and turn over at the top. That way we're getting both muscle groups in both directions. This we're gonna go 8 to 10 reps also. 2 to 3 sets for both. Then we're gonna move on to finger curls. So finger curls are gonna help strengthen the finger flexor muscles. They start here and they cross all the way over into the elbow here. And when we make that throwing motion, our fingers are stable. Or if we're throwing here, our fingers are the last thing that touches whatever we're throwing. So we have to have the stability there to help support that elbow as we're going through to keep the chain stronger. We're gonna start with a slightly heavier dumbbell than the last exercise because my finger strength is gonna be a lot stronger than my wrist strength naturally. So I'm gonna show you what it looks like here, but I'm gonna demo what the hand motion looks like on this opposite hand as we're doing this so you can see because the dumbbell will block the view. So we're gonna start with a closed grip holding this dumbbell here, and then we're gonna slowly lower that dumbbell down into this hook position. Notice how I have that hook position here. And then we're gonna slowly squeeze that grip again. And then we're gonna go nice, slow and controlled back down. Be careful not to drop the dumbbell on your toe and drop that dumbbell. So then we're gonna pull that up again, nice and controlled, pretty easy. We're gonna go 12 to 15 reps for 2 to 3 sets. Next is skull crushers. So this exercise is gonna help strengthen our tricep. So when we throw, we get that elbow extension motion. That tricep there has to have that stability in this position here to lengthen and snap into that extension to get the best possible translation of force into our hand. If we're lacking that, oftentimes that can lead to having that elbow problem there. So I pick skull crushers because most people have something they can hold, lay on their back, and just hammer these out. What that also does is when I get into that release point, my arm is oftentimes in front of me here when I'm throwing and not down here like this, like other traditional tricep exercises, like cable press downs or rope pull aparts or things like that. So if you do have access to a cable machine, feel free to do sort of with the cable behind you pulling forward, you know, the overhead tricep extension where your arm is about at that release point where we're extending that tricep. Those are also acceptable. I like the skull crusher because most people have the things that they can do this at home without having extra equipment around. So you can take a dumbbell or a weight. I'm gonna lie on this bench. You can lie on the floor. We don't really need a bench for this. So we're gonna lay down. We're gonna hold said weight or dumbbell out in front of us here. And then we're just gonna bend the elbows, bring the weight to near our forehead, and then squeeze the tricep, straighten the elbows back out. Slowly control, bring that back down. Bring that back up, squeeze the tricep. Bring that back toward the head. Nice and controlled. We're gonna do 12 to 15 reps for 2 to 3 sets. Okay, so here's the bonus exercise. What you're gonna need is a ball of some sort. I am going to use an AccuMobility ball. I'm no way affiliated with this. I just really like it because one side's flat and then I don't have to worry about it rolling off and I don't have to hold it. It's a lot easier because I just pin this up against something and then I can work the tissue I'm trying to work. So I'm gonna show you with the AccuMobility ball. Feel free to use a regular ball, baseball, lacrosse ball, tennis ball, whatever you have laying around. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna find our collarbone here. We're gonna find where it starts dipping back at that deepest point of our collarbone here, where it's all the way farthest back. We're gonna drop down about 3 inches straight down from there. You're gonna find this little spot right in the pec muscle right there. It'll be kind of tender if you dig in there back and forth. That's the, you know you're on the right spot. Keep in mind you have to be a little bit down from that deep spot in there. If you're too high and you're right underneath, there is a bony prominence that's a little bit tender. Try to avoid that. If you press on this and you start getting numbness down the arm, hold off on it, take a break, find a different way to release the tissue here. So I'm gonna find that point. It's nice and tender right there. That's where I'm gonna put this ball. You can go up to a rack, you can go into a door frame. I like to use a corner so that my head's not jammed up, right, like this, and I'm trying to use it. So I'm gonna use this squat rack here. I'm gonna lean in, I'm gonna post this up against the squat rack. And I'm just gonna lean in and find that pressure. You're gonna find that spot, it feels really good. And then what you're gonna do with your arm, you're gonna have your arm kind of in your throwing motion out to the side, and you're gonna externally rotate your hand backwards. You're gonna feel that stretch over there and then come back down. And then you're gonna rotate that back again and then come back down. When you're doing this, you're trying to not lift the pressure off of this mobility ball here. And you're trying to maintain that pressure. What we're trying to do, what that looks like from the front, is we're here, we're pinning that, and then we're rotating back. We're also trying to engage the shoulder blade, so my shoulder blade pulls back there. What happens when we throw, if our chest muscle is too tight, then our shoulder blade tends to pull forward like this and get locked in this position. So when I get long and I get into that position, my shoulder blade stays forward, and then I can't rotate as far. And if my shoulder's really strong, then the force is going to translate and it's going to get directly inputted right here at the elbow, right? If you have weaker shoulders, you might also have that shoulder pain that's going on there. So we want to work on that, pin that, engage the scap to pull that back. Notice how I'm not just doing this. We want to engage the scap to pull that back there. That's just a bonus tip there. I would do that probably 20, 30 reps for a couple different sets, especially before you're going to throw. With these exercises, pain should stay relatively mild and not start to increase. If you are having intense pain when you are throwing at higher intensities, I would probably back off the intensity of throwing so that the tissue doesn't continue to be aggravated. We can allow this to calm back down before we start throwing hard again, build up some of the strength with some of these exercises, and then slowly start incorporating a little bit more throwing again. If you found this helpful, please like and subscribe. If you know somebody who's a thrower and they're dealing with some elbow pain, send this video to them, please. If you are an athlete and you are involved in a throwing sport, please drop a comment below. I'd love to hear what sport you're in.
A strong arm isn't just about throwing, it's about building resilience through every phase. Valley Rehab, Physical Therapy, and Return to Work Center.